branding and your domain. Um, Two things can be confusing in a way, but I talked about this before in a different video. But when it comes to buying your domain, remember you're trying to buy a domain that's going to be close to what your brand's going to be about. This way, whatever you're selling, whatever you're trying to get out there, you want to be associated with that. It's just like um, everybody knows Nike. Nike knows, hey, Nike is his brand shoes, brand apparel, stuff like that. So you know that. So whatever domain you wind up picking, you're gonna push that to promote your product, your service, and stuff like that. But it's also gonna be known as your brand. So whatever domain you decide to pick, remember to have that in mind. You want to, and of course, um, you want people to know that, hey, it comes off their tongue, and it's just, hey, it's a part of you already know what it's about. Like I said, Nike. Nike's brand apparel, shoes, apparel and stuff like that. Under Armour, Under Armour as well, apparel and stuff like that. So whatever domain you do pick, remember one thing when you're picking that domain. Hey, that's a good brand name to have. It comes off the tongue. I'll be known for that unique word or whatever you wind up picking. So remember that when you're trying to decide on domains. And I said this before on another video, when you're starting your business and you're about to pick a domain, write down 5, 10, 15, as many domains as you can, as many as you can, and then search for them. And I always say this, said this before, the shorter the better, because you don't want it to be too long, not just the domain, but also being the fact that you'll eventually wind up getting maybe a trademark for that name and stuff like that for what product or service you pick. So I know this is a lot sometimes, but you have to have that all in mind. And if you're new, I understand you're new. Don't get me wrong. Maybe later on you can change it to a different wording, because all the things you wind up doing later on is you wind up getting a trademark for that particular brand. You know what I'm saying? So nobody tries to interfere with your name and stuff like that or steal your intellectual property. Again, that's something that we covered in another video about talking to an attorney, talking to a trademark attorney. They'll walk you through the steps and all that stuff. So it just depends where you are, especially if you're in the beginning of the process of getting your own domain and selling a product or service. So just have those things in mind. Say, hey, later on, if a business becomes good, I want to go out getting the trademark. But a couple of years ago, it used to be really hard to get a trademark. Maybe 5-10 years ago, it was more expensive. But now it's a lot cheaper. There's a lot of services out there that can fill in the paperwork for you if you want, or you can do it yourself. Or like I said, you can always hire an attorney. But there's also services online to help you get to your trademark. So that's also something you may want to think about. This way later on as your business starts growing, it's something you won't have to fear about somebody trying to take your trademark away. Okay, so that's something that just to have in the back of your mind. But again, it's up to you if you whether want to spend that money right now or later on, or you just want to be safe than sorry later. That's a lot of things I do. I know for my sake, when I start any particular service, any particular product, and I think it's going to be good, regardless of how much it is, I just go ahead and spend the money and I get the trademark for it. This way I don't have any problems later on. And if it winds up being a good business, great. Or if it winds up not going good, then I let the trademark run out, or I sell the business to somebody else and stuff like that. But that's also a good ploy for me, because when I want to sell up one of my online businesses, I said, oh, by the way, it's not only you're buying the domain, you're also buying the trademark to this product or service. And a lot of people like that, especially when I sell a product to an investor or a big company. They'll tell me, hey, you're also selling the trade name, right? Yep, it comes with the trade name, so don't worry about the trademark. Don't worry about it. You have it with you. It'll come with the sale. And that's how I've sold a lot of small businesses like that, because they also came with the trademark when I sold it to a particular company, big company or whatever. So because eventually, sometimes, don't get me wrong, I hope business booms for you and it becomes an awesome product or service. Like I said before, bigger company may come up to you and try to steal your product, steal your idea, and say, you know what, we're gonna get that name similar to what do you call it? We're gonna brand it or whatever. We're gonna sell it, and that'll protect you. Like I said, or like I said, when they see that you're already a trademark for that particular product or service, some big company says, hey, he's getting kind of big. let's offer him something. Let's offer him a couple of $1 million for his product or service for the whole company. And that also, I've gotten offers like that all the time, different products, different services I've sold online. So that also just, like I said, it also just protects you, but it also, just in case you ever want to sell and stuff like that. But most of the thing, it's mostly for protection. And that's what you got to think about it when you decide to eventually get your domain and your trademark for that protection and stuff like that. So, but just think about it. Just think about it when you're about to, eventually get your domain, and you're thinking about doing the whole process of getting a trademark. Talk to an attorney. Look for services online that offer it pretty cheap, and it's up to you. You're the one. You're the one who wants to spend the money. You're the one that's going to be more satisfied with the service you're going to get, regardless of what it is. So just have that in mind when you're buying your domain, okay? And like I said, before you start buying your domains, write them all down in paper, what the product or service you're going to sell, and then try to come up with something small on the domain name, and then later on, like I said, we'll try to trademark it and stuff like that. Okay? Have a good one.